Testing, 1, 2. Hello, hello, hello. Why does this mouse do this? I'm trying something a little different tonight with the cameras. I'm going to reset the whole thing up in a couple days. I don't know if you like this view. Hello, hello. You like this view, or should I go back to the other one? I don't have the overhead set. Hey Joe, did you get that video I sent? Hey Ed. Hey Ed, did you get that video I sent? Ed and Joe? This view okay there, Ed? Anyway, what I want to do, I'm going to give you guys a choice. All right, we have the book. I'm getting a lot of people requesting the book, but man, they live in what a delay. So, did you like that video, guys? That guy is a force of nature. My God, does he play so nice. Absolutely nice. Okay, you guys have a choice. We have the worksheet or the workbook. I mean, I can start from page to page to page, and I think that would be boring. Hey, Paul, how you doing? So, a few things here. I think what we should do, first, let's go to a very simple pattern. Ostinato number 6. Well, I'll tell you, that's recording studio quality. You know, a friend of mine, Tim Herman, who's going to be doing, hello, Ricardo, who is going to be doing a show with us. He saw him live at the Blue Note. And he said, the guy's just a totally amazing, amazing drummer. Now, if you notice when he was executing, I mean, he wasn't worried about a downstroke, an upstroke, or a tap. I mean, it was there. That's from years and years and years of practicing and conditioning. He was going with the stick. But now, I don't know how to label that as out of the box or in the box, or, I mean, that man has some sounds going on, some moves, some rhythms. Unbelievable. I really enjoyed it. He has a whole mess, a lot more videos I might send everybody. Or go to YouTube and look them up. Okay, so here's what we're going to do tonight. Hopefully Alan Herman might stop by. He did stop by last night towards the end. Hey, James, how you doing? I got your email. Where are you located, James? In Boston? Or in Massachusetts, rather? And I think I sent you the video as well. Now, if you guys like this video, if you like this view, we'll do it. We'll keep it, and we'll go back and forth to the other view. I'm going to rearrange things a little bit, and starting Monday, I will be doing a 1 p.m. lesson. I'm going to give it a shot. That's a lot of lessons a week. 1 and 7, 1 and 7, 1 and 7, 1 and 7, 4 times. That's 8. Okay. Anyway, the book. Matt Patella's Live Lessons Workbook. Not bad. We're going to work with a very simple pattern just to loosen up and get loose a little bit. And I know that, James, you don't have it. But anyway, it's a paradiddle ostinato. So I'm going to explain it. What we're doing is an ostinato. We're starting off simple. For example, when I teach a paradiddle with the accent on the down of the first beat of the grouping of 4, like 1. Simple. So what we're going to do with that is we're going to take it. I can do it, okay. What we're going to do is take the paradiddle, and instead of playing the right hand on the snare, we're going to move the right hand onto the hi-hat. But we're in a 16th note formation, so we have 1 E and a 3 E and a 4. Yeah. 1, 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. We got that? We're counting 16ths. Now, James, did you say you have the Gary Chaffee book, Time Functions? If you do, go to page 11. All right, so now we're counting 16ths, 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. What I like to do is play my bass drum on all 16ths to loosen up a little bit for a minute or two. I'm not going to do that for 2 or 3 minutes. Okay. So here's what I should have sent you this sheet. If you want to purchase the book, it's a workbook I put together of 10 different cymbal ostinatos, and the cost of it is $30. That includes shipping and handling. Okay, so if you'd like, you could send the money to PayPal, your address. If you're going to buy it, when you go to PayPal, put it into PayPal as a gift or a family member, and within a day or two, you'll have the book. So what we're doing now is just the 16th notes. 1, I'm going to do it slow. I'm doing a group, 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. But this time I'm going to put my bass drum on the counts of 1 and 3. So I have 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. See that bass drum? 2 E and that bass drum, boom. Now we're going to permutate the bass drum, and we had it on 1 and 3. Now we're going to put it. We will put the bass drum on the E of 1 and the E of 3. So we're going to have 1 E. Now a lot of guys play this. When they first do it, they accent the E with the hand. 1 E. That takes away from the whole thing. So now you have 1 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E, 3 E and 4 E and 2, 3 E and 4 E and So that's the 1 and 3, the E of 1, the E of 3. Now we're going to go to the and of 1 and the and of 3. So we're going to have 1, E, and 2. 3, E, and 4, E, and 1, E, and 2, E, 3, E, and 4, E, and then we're going to go to the duh of 1 and the duh of 3. 3, E, and 4, E, and 1, E, and 2, and 3, E, and 4, E, and So what I did is I permutated the foot over 1. But it's also referred to as the grid. The grid means you're moving over one accent for every grouping of 4. So I did that every grouping of 8, so I'm going to do every 4 now. I'm going to have 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and 1. You see what I just did, gentlemen? Yes, no? Any questions on that? Any problems on that? We all understand it. Ricardo, you understand that? Do we all understand it, gentlemen? Now, page 11, I just did the first 4. I'm going to try to send page 11 out to the guys. I really would appreciate if you would purchase the book, only because it saves me a lot of time with the PDFs. I don't want you to lose this. So if you have the book, we're going to be doing a tremendous amount of work from the book. Okay? All right, so now, that's just a paradiddle ostinato, something new. We all understand it. Now, I think, Paul, you requested, was it, what pattern was that you requested? Let me see if I can find it. Not number 7. Let me see. No, Joe, you requested symbol ostinato number. No, let's do it with Paul wanted. Symbol pattern, or ostinato symbol pattern number 3. Okay? Now, it is a paradiddle, but it's displaced. So instead of 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and this is actually line, I believe, 6. Yeah, I got it. Number 3. It's actually number 6, line 6 of the stick control book, which is, if I did it on one surface, 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and what do we got here? Thank you, Joe. Anyway, number 6, we're taking now, instead of playing it just on a snare drum, good old stick control book, we take it and we change the voices. The right hand voice is going to be here, left hand voice is here, and we're going to plow a backbeat on 2 and 4. And then we're going to do the warm-up. For about 2 or 3 minutes. And then we run the pages down. Paul, number 3 we're on. Any questions on it? What would you like me to cover on line 3? I mean, symbol ostinato on 3. I could cover the first 2 pages, all right, or start with the combinations. What would you like? Yes, no, what do you guys want? Come on, help me out. I know there's a delay, but not a big delay. You want me to do the combinations of number 3, or you just want me to work on the first 2 pages? Combos. All right, which combo? Start with number 23. Okay, we'll start with number 23. Now you have to remember, you cannot have your bass drum dictate the sound of your top, the top being your hands. So now, we want a continuous sound. Now, he follows the same suit. He permutates the bass drums and he does these different combinations. So we're going to do number 1. He starts the bass drum on the count of 1 and 3. So the bass drum is going to be continuous on the counts of 1 and 3 throughout the exercise. So let's do the first one. 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and 1. Understand that. Do not let. I started with number 23, the first measure. Let's go to the second guy. Now, the bass drum is going to remain on 1 and 3. However, you're adding now the bass drum on the E of 2 and the E of 4. Do not let that bass drum dictate to you the sound of your top. Okay? Paul, were you here when I said that I'm going to start doing afternoon lessons, 1 p.m.? I'm going to try it. If it becomes too much, I'll just do randomly 1 p.m. Okay? So 1 p.m. and 7 p.m., Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. All right, we're on number 2 now. We're adding, instead of 1 and 3 now, we added the bass drum to the E of 2 and the E of 4. So we have 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and I'm sorry, I made a mistake. 1, E, and 2, and 3, E, and 4, E, and boom. Okay, the question is, can I explain again? Do not let the bass drum dictate the sound of the top. All right. For example, if I'm playing this pattern, 1, E, and 2. So now, what's going to happen there? Okay, what we're going to do is when I say dictate the sound, it was very obvious on the first paradiddle. If I played it on the 1 and 3, I did not let that top, that bottom go like that. So I hit it 1 and 3, 4, E, and I played the bass drum light there. All right. Now I want to explode the bass drum because that's the voice that's getting recognized mostly here. That's going to change the feel and the groove of what we're doing. So I'm going to plow that. I'm going to try to explode the bass drum on the counts of 1 and 3. We're doing a single paradiddle. We're back to, I think that was ostinato number 6. We're going to plow that bass drum on 1 and 3 without going like so. All right, so it's just 1. Now you hear the difference? 1, E, and 2, E, And now plow it. 3. Now notice the sound of the top did not change. A lot of guys have a tendency to go. You hear the difference? And it really comes into view when you move that bass drum from the downbeat, say, to the E. So a lot of guys give me this when they first learned this. And the whole thing is just some form of meditation. You're going to have to give me 1 E. Now notice that left hand. It didn't explode. 1 E. You see? It's 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Okay, you understand that better, Joe? Or do not let the bass drum dictate the sound of your top. The top is consistent. It's an ostinato pattern. That's the paradiddle. Not number 3. That's number 6. An ostinato is a pattern which repeats itself over and over again, not only in rhythm, but in sound as well. Now, if you change the sound, it's still the ostinato, but you change the feel. And it does change the feel. Okay, no problem, Joe. Okay, so let's go back to, what was that? Ostinato number 3. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Okay, so now we had the bass drum on the 1 and 3. And again, I did not have that top, the bass drum dictate to me the top. So I have 1 and 2 E. Second one, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Now notice how it does not. Well, I don't have a camera set up. I mean, I did the best I can. Can you see it going in? Actually, when I hit the pedal, when I hit the bass from the pedal, the beater comes right back. Can you see that now? I'm going to hit just the pedal now, and you watch it come back. Come on, Matt. There's a delay. You see the pedal come back? The beater come back, rather. Boom. I'm plowing that now, so I'm just... Okay, so I'm just... That's what you need to do. You hit it. I'm going to readjust this, so just give me a break here. I'm experimenting, but we're going to have a whole new thing come Monday. Overhead's going to be on. The front view. I might change the side view to over here. But I like this view. And, you know, I need some input. You know, you guys help me out. But anyway, you know, I don't want to overwhelm everybody. But what's a good exercise to have your, to control that beater and not have it dictate the sound of the top would be, for example, if I did 16th notes. Okay, now what I'm going to do, it's one of the patterns in the book as well. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to play. Very good, Alan. Alan Herman is here again. Thank you, Al, for coming. We missed you last night. All right. Anyway, for example, if you're doing 16th notes, 1 E on the hi-hat, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and I'm just going to take that and I'm going to put a backbeat on the count of 2 and 4. It's in the book. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Now, it's a simple pattern. Excuse me. It's a simple pattern. And now what we're going to do is reference off the stick control book. Now, if I make a mistake, I know that Alan is going to throw darts at me, and I really wish he would. You'd like to see all on one view. Is that okay the way it is now? You can see my beater. I believe you can see the hi-hat, snare, tom. You can't see the ride cymbal though. Okay, back to what I was doing. We're doing 16ths on the top. And we're going to put them on the hi-hat. Now I'm going to hold my sticks German. I've been having some issues again with my left hand. It's an old age thing and a long time ago injury that is affecting my hand. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play 16ths. Nice and easy, equal sound, right, left, the way George Lawrence Stone intended. But this time now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a backbeat on 2 and 4. That means I'm going to move it over, okay, to 2, my right hand on 2 and 4. It's a backbeat. 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2. 3 E and a 4 E and a. Simple pattern. What we're doing is we're you can? Okay. Sorry. And anyway, Al, what I'm doing now is taking the stick control book, page 5. And we're going to reference off the page 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's not going to be that. We're going to consolidate the 2 measures as 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So if I played it as it is, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, I just did the line. Now I'm going to think about it differently. I'm going to count it in 16th notes. 1 E and a 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a. Simple. That's my thought process. Now, what I'm going to do with that, I'm referencing off that line, and I'm going to think of it in 16th notes as 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay? So, we're going to eliminate the lefts. That's going to give me 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 E and a. And what we're going to do now, remember, we're going to maintain an equal sound, a constant sound between the hi-hat and the snare. And that bass drum should not dictate any of the sound on top. I don't want to hear. You hear? Just like 1 E and a 2 E and a. It's an exercise. 3 E and a 4 E and a. You understand that, gentlemen? We move on to the second line. Instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, it's reversed. The rights are falling on the E and the duh. 1 E and a 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a. So now what we have, instead of 1 E and a, now we have 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. See the difference? Yeah, I agree with that, Alan, but I don't, it's written in cut time, and I just think of it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and if I was to play it in cut time, yeah, that's the way it's written. I rather explain how I'm referencing from it, and you're absolutely correct, Al. Very good. You understand it? Is it? Yeah, the 16th note count, right? 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and so on and so forth. If you do the whole page like that, and it's not about how fast you can play it, it's about how controlled rather you can play it. That's the title of the book, Stick Control. What you're doing is you're controlling your voices. Again, do not let that bass drum dictate to you the sound of the top. The sound of the top has to be consistent. You're plowing a 2 and you're plowing a 4 as a backbeat. That's the only difference. So you have the snare drum and the hi-hat sound. You have the bass drum sound, and you have the accent. That's 4 different sounds. You have to be consistent. And again, when I said an ostinato is a pattern which repeats itself over and over and over and over again. And that's what we're working on. We're working on single stroke ostinato with a backbeat on 2 and 4, and don't let the bass drum dictate to you the sound of the top. I demonstrated it with the paradiddle. Okay? And remember when we did the 1 and 3 was okay. But now a lot of guys, when they're doing this, will put that, they will hit that E on the bass drum, but they also it will affect their left hand. For example, that sounds like shit. So what you need to do, and it's a form of meditation, is 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E. You hear the consistency there? Got it, guys? Hey, yeah, I'm going to be, as of Monday, I'm going to try to do a 1 p.m. lesson during the week as well, in addition to my 7 p.m. I posted it on Facebook and all the groups and everything, and everybody wants to be on the mailing list and get free PDFs. Good for them. Free is the magic word. And also, I tried to contact Steve Foster today. I'm waiting on him to return my message. And when you come back from China, we are going to do that roundtable. We're going to need one more guy from Joe Morello. I don't mean like the guys in the master studies room. They study with Joe Morello. They have 2 lessons, and they talk about this, they talk about that. Oh, if that's late, I'm sorry, Al. I can't help that. I'm trying to service the UK and Canada and South America as well. I'm not going to do nothing we'll see. We'll work something out. I mean, if you can make the 7 p.m. lesson, that's great. You're an asset to this stream. You definitely are. I've been trying to have Alan hook up with me doing this. And when he does come back from China, he'll be spending a couple days here or a couple days on and off, and him and I will make some videos. We'll have some discussions. And the Steve Foster is also a former student of Joe's. Very knowledgeable, very intelligent. He's a great guy, man. He really is. And I'm sure he'd be willing. He just put a new publication out, and I haven't got in touch with him in a long time. But we're going to find somebody with the same qualifications as you, Al, and Steve. And we'll put it together. Okay? If I do, yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. You know, what I want to do, Al, if it's okay with you, you know, I think I'm a pretty humble person, you know, and I want you to give me a lesson. And you can't make fun of my left hand. You know the situation with my left hand. I can't straighten that hand out. You see my pinky? This way here. Here you go, Matt. My pinky, I can't go like this. I can't close it like this, and I can't control it like this. If I do this, that's weird. I can't close it. I watch this. I'm gonna hold my hand out like this, and I'm gonna put my fingers in like that. Now watch what happens automatically. She comes out, and it's been affecting me lately because of the fact it's an old injury. But anyway, do we have any questions this evening, gentlemen? Anything in addition to what I've gone over? And if you have any questions, man, I will, you have an icon in the drum community here, Alan Herman. Ask him some questions. He'll try to help you out. He will help you out, as a matter of fact. Ask him about the level system. Ask him about the full strokes. I ain't removing my pinky. Alan, now that's a bit much. I mean, how am I going to, I could go like this. And if I'm playing German, I need something to grip it with. I mean, I can't go like this with my left hand. I could play my fingers like that, but I can't. I have no strength that way. How's he going to demonstrate? No, he'll talk to you about it. Obviously, you can't see him, but he does have a video that he did here. He did a broadcast a couple years back, and the broadcast was about an hour and a half, and he demonstrated all that. That Joe, be nice. Well, let's talk about holding the stick. That's a good subject. I mean, I could hold the sticks like this. You see? And get the same thing out. But that limits me. All right? Now, you hold the sticks. James, do you hold the sticks traditional German or traditional? Yeah, well, what I don't like about, all right, Daniel Glass. Daniel Glass is a nice guy. He does what he does, and he does it well. What I don't like is this Freddie Gruber shit. I don't like that. I don't know I never met Freddie Gruber. I never heard Freddie Gruber play, but everybody swears by him. I don't know why. I guess he's a good bullshitter. That's how I look at it. But Daniel Glass is a nice guy, and he does what he does, and he does well. You hold a traditional, James? All right, I'm going to demonstrate the traditional grip. Now, Alan's going to hone in here and start hitting me in the head with the drumstick. When I first went to Joe Morello, I just left 2 lessons with Carl Wolf. That was a former student of his. But before Carl Wolf, I studied with a gentleman called Charlie Tappan. Yeah, he did, Joe. And when I went to see Charlie Tappan, I was holding my sticks naturally, like the karate chop thing and all that good stuff. He turned my hand around like this, as that way, and I started to play that way. And it was affecting me. When I went to Joe Morello left. So what are you doing, man? That's very unnatural. You're preventing the stick from doing what it's supposed to do. You're preventing yourself from controlling the stick. We talked about everything we talked about last night. Everything comes from the wrist, the levers. And we had a big discussion one time with Alan. Alan knows how to explain that really well. The lever from the shoulder to the elbow to the wrist to the fingers. They're intertwining wheels, and they're all locked in unison. And if they're not, then something is wrong. So, what I do first off, I find a center point with my left hand. Now, I see a lot of guys hold a stick out here like this. You see how far my butt is on that stick? There's no center point there. So I have to find it. Some guys have a center point here. And when I say center point, maybe Alan could explain the center. That's okay, Joe, you can. All right, it's a pivot point. Remember, like, doing the basketball thing? I mean, I could do the same thing here, but look at that. I got to work harder. So I find that center point. And then from there, I'm using my wrist only. See that? And like I said last night, you're actually playing the drums with your hands. No, the fulcrum is, you're holding the stick at the fulcrum, but you're not finding the center point that way. This is the fulcrum right here. You see that? But a lot of guys will go like this when they play. So what's the fulcrum? It's the pivot, the center point. Like I said, I'm here, I'm doing a basketball, rebound, stroke and rebound. But if I'm here, the stick don't want to do nothing. Absolutely, the point of rotation. This is where I'm rotating that stick. I could have my fulcrum here. I could have it here. That's where the stick is rotating. But I found the center point. Okay? Notice that it's all coming point of rotation. Absolutely. I mean, I could rotate it here. I mean, that's ridiculous, and it's a lot of work, and it's not the center point. So I have this. Now, if you notice, my wrists are there. My finger is aiding or controlling the rebound up and down. And but notice the wrist. It's all coming from the wrist. The Great Allen all comes from the wrist. Okay. Now, when you're doing, the best thing to do here is the stick control book, at least 5 lines. Okay, let me put that into the discussion here. And it's absolutely correct. Good way to explain it. All right, a seesaw. You got a guy 150 pounds on one end and another guy 700 pounds on the other end. So now you have a seesaw like this. 750 pounds, 150 pounds. What's going to happen? 750 pounds is going to go like this. This guy's in trouble here. He can't get it down. All right, so it's not equal in balance. You know, you're distributing the balancing point here. Here's my balancing point. I could have a balancing point where I'm equal on this side and equal on this side. If you notice the distance from here to the butt and from here to the head is just a little slight difference because I feel comfortable there. But if you balance it, I could do that all day. I don't do any push and pull stuff because I can't move my fingers. But no, the 750-pound guy will not land in Coney Island. The 150-pound guy would. Anyway, it's hard to do this in discussion. But anyway, the same thing with the right hand. My balancing point. This is my fulcrum. I do not hold the stick tightly. Like I was saying, we actually play the drums with the hands. And the stick is an extension of your hand. I control that stick. I throw it down, and that's where the level system comes in. The stick comes right back. Only because for every action, there's an opposite reaction. I'm not going to get into weight, velocity, and all that stuff because that's difficult to explain. Yeah, the rotation. There's the rotation. See it? What I'm doing is when I stroke, I'm letting the rebound have it. There's the rotation right there. That's it. So when I hit the drum, there's going to be a rebound, but I stop it there. If I go to fingers, I wish I could do that with my left hand. Anyway, rotation is the wrist, right? Everything is from the wrist. Oh, I'm getting tired. There's my rotation. See it, guys? All right. I hope this helps somewhat, but I can't wait till Alan comes here. And I'm going to take a lesson with him. We're going to do a drum pad show, and we'll do a drum set show. Whatever he wants to do. The one show that I'm going to really enjoy is with Steve Foster. Steve Foster's another brilliant young man. Well, he's young. Well, I'm not young. Anyway, I'm going to need to close it up. Well, you know, if it works for you, Ed, the point that you grip the stick. What do you grip the stick? You're talking traditional, or are you talking German or matched? This is not really boring, Jim, or James rather. What this is it's factual. It's how you stroke. Now, we're not talking how we produce sound right now. We're trying to get the stick going on. Absolutely. I agree with that, Al. But anyway, I need to get off the line here, man. I'm really tired. I'm having a good time, though. Unless you guys want to continue with the discussion. Pablo, how are you? What do you got shades on for? Anyway, Pablo, do you have my email, sir? And if you have my email, you'll get the agenda for next week. I'm going to start doing a 1 p.m. lesson and a 7 p.m. lesson on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Do I have your email, Joe? Pablo. Well, they're going to get better, I hope, Paul, and you're welcome. I'm really trying very hard, and with the help of Alan, man, it's going to make it even beautiful. Alan's a good man to have in your army, for sure. He's the general, and no molar. Did you email me? And you're on my mailing list. And 1 o'clock Monday. I'm going to be back tomorrow at just 7. Okay? But we have 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from now on, starting Monday. Okay, gentlemen? Hey, Al, it was very nice of you to stop by. And all these guys are going to be coming. All you guys that live in the Massachusetts area should come down and do a whole day session with Alan and I. You know, like 12 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 o'clock in the evening. Boston's only about 4 hours away. And you guys, like 4 or 5 of you, are from there. We could have a whole clinic going on here. and we can discuss all of this, and it will make these lessons online a lot better. What I can do is I can view everybody. Okay. Uruguay. Okay, that's good. Now remember there, James. I would purchase that workbook. It would make life a lot easier for you. Email me. Let me know what you want to do. Okay. Now the guys who live in South America, man, forget about it. It's $24.50 just the shipping. That is totally ridiculous. I will sell you 177 PDF sheets for the lessons. I will do that for a different price. Okay, guys. All right, I need to leave. Thank you so very much, Al, for your presence. And I'm going to try to get the overhead better, and we'll have a good time. Now, we're going to have sort of a review tomorrow evening, and it's hard to talk to a screen. Oh boy! All right, and we're gonna try to do a review and maybe some new stuff and maybe some additional exercising. All right, that will help everybody. So you guys have a good evening, okay? Good night, and tomorrow's Halloween. So if you're gonna get dressed up, I know I'm getting dressed up. I'm gonna get dressed up as a drummer. Have a good night, guys. See you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Hey.